Hello everybody, it is still Sunday the 5th of March. This is my third video for today, be aware of that. So, I'm going to call this In the Name of the Father, and we are the ones that we are waiting for. And I think all of a sudden a few more puzzle pieces have fallen into place, and really I got an answer to a question that I asked, I think, in the first video. And that is, how do we know what it is we are connecting to? Yeah? I mean, if we do it in this world, we see the form in front of us. We know what it is we're connecting to on a higher level, on the level of energy, vibration, emotion, thought, knowing each other in this world on that level is probably not that difficult, because, as I said, we know the form, and we already know a lot about the forms. That is trees, animals. We know a lot about what their functions are, and you know what it is, how they give and how we receive, and we already know a lot about that. But what if we were to go further out? Which pathways do we travel on then? What is creating the pathway, the way on which our thoughts, our desires travel, and the pathway on which we receive answers? And it is just that where I think people have gone horribly wrong. They have received of something that is, well, not of this world and not according to this world. A different, completely different thought that has created completely different systems. So how do we know? And here comes Jesus said, ask in the name of the Father. Ask in the name of the Father. And I had so many times this thought, you know, what is my name? And even thinking about that, what is the name of the Father? You know, the God of the Bible has got gotten so many names. So what is the name of the Father? And then coming to me that what I've said before, it's really just pieces falling together. What I've said before, and that is, the name is the essence of something. So the question, what is my name, is actually, what is my essence? What am I? Which is then true for him and for me, because I'm his image. So it really answers both questions. What is he? What am I? So what is his essence? And where do we see his essence? No longer in humanity. Well, unless we dig deep into ourselves, it's still there. It is there. For many of us closer to the surface than others, because many have been, as I said, spiritually injected by a completely different thought, and they're becoming according to that. But some of us are still the truth. So what is my essence? And I was thinking that in the Bible, and here we come to the creation story, actually go to the beginning. God created the world. Now we know God had a lot of desires, you know, like trees and animals and stuff like that, yeah? And the world formed itself. It gave birth. And there is a female giving birth to the desire of the male. But it is more than just the forms. His essence is more than just that desire for trees and seas and everything. Because everything is arranged in a certain way. And I think that is also his essence. It is arranged in a way that there are, as I said, lots of different forms, lots of different levels of consciousness that live together, that create a self-sustaining whole, that give and receive of one another. That is his essence. That was his desire. Yeah? To be diverse, really. Lots of different forms, lots of different levels of consciousness, and they are all connected to each other through giving and receiving and sustaining each other, and that is his essence. That is his desire. That is the God of this world, because you can see him in nature, you can see him in the outcome. There he is still true. It is in us that it becomes distorted, but there it is still true, and you can still see it. But then in which way does the female, the world, restrict the light into just one possibility? It could create anything, but it is restricted by this female, and that is because this female is carbon-based. And that means whatever was created is carbon-based. Now, I'm wondering if that Father has created other worlds. If that desire has created other worlds that maybe not carbon-based, but something else. But that created forms according to itself, but by the same principle, by the same essence of the Father, by that desire. So then if we do go far out, but we travel on the pathway of his name, of his essence, then we should connect to those that are us. Not because they are the same form, or even made out of the same material, but because they're created from the same essence. And then when it says we are the ones we are waiting for, I've heard theories that it is time travel, but it might be other worlds that are us, because they were formed from the same essence, from the same male, from the same overriding desire. So if we travel on the pathway of his name, that we then connect to others that are us. They wouldn't have the same form, most likely. Funny, that was something else I heard so often a long time ago. Do not judge the form. It is you, because it is you in essence. You have the same Father. And then that we know each other. Because as it stands at the moment, I don't know if we can correct this ourselves. We need new knowledge maybe coming. I think we will need new knowledge. And again, that is not higher knowledge, but a different knowledge. One that is not yet illuminated inside of ourselves, but that will help us. But if knowledge is given out of the same essence, not out of the will to have dominion over this, not out of the will to rule over this, but, as I said, so that forms can live with each other. Grown out of the same desire, out of the same Father. And again, the only way, if they are radically different from us in form, although not in essence, if they are radically different from us in form, then, and exchange of materialistic knowledge may not be at all helpful, because what is food to them may well be poison to us. And that is just how it is, because they are according to their own mother. But on a higher level, on the level of spiritual principles, there might be a spiritual principle that they know and we haven't yet incorporated into. I mean, we really need to sort the spiritual out anyway, because there's a lot of bugs in there, a lot of viruses. But there might be another spiritual level knowledge that they can give to us, which we then have to, again, translate into carbon, so to speak. But it is this thought that what comes, this end, that will create a new beginning, and that it could be either good or bad, that we are at a crossroads. And I think it is quite simply that because they have caused this tribulation, that we are now spiritually awakening, we are branching, we are reaching out. But are we reaching out in the correct way? And what is it we are attracting? What knowledge is it we're attracting? And what should that knowledge serve? And as I said, as many have become spiritually, I am nothing. I mean, whole body, spiritually, I am nothing. And I need this thing to come and rule over me. Then that is what they're connecting to. And that is what will manifest in this world. And that is not the Father. That may be another God, but it is not our Father. It is not our truth. And that will need to rule over us for all eternity. And will have to subdue us forever, because it is not our truth. And our truth will forever. We will be in conflict forever. Unless that thing actually finds a way to permanently change us, God forbid. But, so there's my thought, and there is, if we travel away from this place, there is the pathway. In the name of the Father, knowing the essence of what has created this world, which is now expressed in a carbon way, because that is what Mother was. So the essence of Him, and then we must be that essence. We must know that essence. When we go into meditation, I guess. I still don't like the thought, but I guess it needs to be. But then that is the essence we must be, because what we are is what we will connect to. Yeah? And then really be the essence of what you are. Be the desire. That forms shall live together. Yeah? On different levels of consciousness, looking different from each other. And that they will create a whole. And then hopefully connect to something that is like that. That was created by the same Father. That is us. And then we are the ones we are waiting for. Anyway, so I've gone far out now. I say I think it is necessary, and I think it is something that is naturally happening already. We are branching out, we are stretching out. And we need to know what we are doing. So, but here, that is my thought about in the name of the Father and the ones that are us. I could do with some feedback here. What do you think? As I say, I'm sitting on my own. I'm thinking according to myself. You know, if I'm going mad, please tell me. Because I really would like to know. I could rethink myself. So anyway, tell me what you're thinking. And if you think this is helpful, share my videos. And if you can help me, please do via the donate button on the homepage. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.